Hello，又到了一周一次的魔术课时间。那么我现在人所在的位置呢，是在烟台这边有一个国际魔术节。既然来到了国际魔术节，我怎么可以放过这些国际魔术的大师们呢？那么今天呢，我请到这位嘉宾，不是我在开玩笑。通常在我们的魔术课这么多年以来，我一直都是在这个课堂里面至高无上的存在。但是这一次，请到了一位大神中的大神，他的外号叫做 Magician's Magician， 魔术师中的魔术师。拿过无数次魔术学院的最佳魔术讲师、最佳近景魔术年度魔术师。这个人是大卫科伯菲尔的魔术顾问，更关键的是，他是大爆的 Dave Vernon 的嫡传弟子，也就是说呢，他是亲自跟活传说学习过的人物。让我们来欢迎今天这位大仙 Michael Ammar Grand Master。So, this is not the first time you came to China, right?
No, several times. I love China.
You love China, the food?
The food, the people, the magic, the great magic.
You like the magic part?
Oh, yeah.
So, do you think what the biggest difference between the West and the East magic?
You know, in the United States, if we have a conference like this, the average age would maybe be 60 years old. You know,
really?
Right. Here, the average age is maybe 30. You know, here the young people are excited about magic. We haven't captured the young the way that China has, and that worries me. You know,
really?
Yeah, it really worries me. All of our magicians are 60, 70 years old. There's a few younger, but not like China.
You mean there's a gap between the generations?
Big gap. Big
wow.
Gap. Yeah.
We all know you have learned from Dave Vernon.
Yes,
Because
yes.
I have introduced Dave Vernon in the previous channel a few years ago, and people all feel very interested about Dave Vernon because every time when they see someone do magic to someone and they ask your opinion, you will say, I prefer Vernon's approach.
The Vernon touch.
Yeah,
The
Vernon touch.
Yeah.
This is the answer for everything.
这个就是你选的牌，
哇，超厉害哎，怎么变呢？
很简单，就这样。
这个魔术，我个人还是比较喜欢 Vernon 的处理方式。
内行。
What's the most important thing you learned from Dave Vernon?
Well, you know, the great thing about being with Dave Vernon, you know, he was the man that fooled Houdini. You know, 1 degree separation from the greatest magicians of the last 100 years, 150 years. His most common saying is, you know, keep it simple. Keep it simple. He says, confusion isn't magic. You know, if they don't understand what's happening, they can't be fooled. You know, they have to know the coin is in the hand to be surprised when it's not. So if it's confusing, you lose the chance to be astonishing. You know, so he says, keep it simple. Keep it simple.
And the audience have to be able to step by step follow your
They have
process.
to know.
Then
They have to
understand.
feel like they're watching the most important thing all the time.
I think in your generation, I mean, Vernon have many students like Bruce Swan and Larry Jennings.
Yeah.
And you really take care of the moment. Like when you take a card, shuffle the card, cut the card, you really focus
Yes.
and make this important. I think
Yes.
your attitude, if you think it's important, people will take care
Yes.
of it.
Yes. I remember one night we were in a conversation for 4 hours about how to turn over a card. Do you turn it over and then show it? Do you show them? You know, just
Details.
how to turn over a card for 4 hours. Well, what's this way? What's this way? So that's the details that he would love. You know, exactly what's the best way to frame the moment of magic.
And I think that is one of the most important advice you can give the young generation, young magicians.
Yeah, to pay attention, the details, the little details, always, you know, they look for one idea to make 100% difference. when really, if one idea makes 1% difference, and another 1%, and 1%, and 1%, you can make 100% difference just with all the details, making every detail right.
Also, Vernon said be natural.
Yes.
What's your understanding of the be nature?
Well, that as soon as you do something suspicious or something unnatural, that's when they know something happened. But if everything looks exactly like it should, and they believe they understand everything all along, that's when they're surprised. When something unnatural happens, okay, maybe this, maybe this. But when everything looks like it's supposed to look, then they have a chance to be surprised.
I think that concept is from Gambler.
Yes. The gambler, he loved gambling, and anything at the gambling table that didn't look right, the odds are much higher, when they think you're cheating at gambling. You get away with it with magic, but he learned from Gambler. Everything has to be right.
I think maybe 50 years ago or 60 years ago, when magicians, when they move funny or fancy, it's probably good for them because magicians.
Yeah.
But Vernon think, you don't need that.
Right. It takes away from the
Do
magic.
everything natural and normal. In the end, the miracle looks like a miracle.
Yeah. And a lot of people think magic is just for children, but really, children live in a state of astonishment. Everything's astonishing, but then they figure things out. They say, it's not a little man in a box, it's a television. It's not a little band, it's a radio. And eventually they have a box for everything in their mind that explains everything. And they lose that state of astonishment. But an adult doesn't have that sense of astonishment all the time. It takes magic. Magic is necessary to remind them they don't have a box in their head for everything. And that's what makes them feel like children. They say, wow, something I don't understand. So sometimes they say, magic is good for children. No. Magic is good for adults. Magic reminds adults what it's like to be amazed by things that happen in the world.
We always need to remember there is something we don't understand.
Yeah, I think astonishment may be tied to hopes and dreams and possibilities. So it's the magician's role to remind us, what astonishment feels like. It's an intellectual delicacy to be astonished.
And respect the mystery.
Yeah, exactly.
We all know you have worked with some very big names in magic, like Chris Angel, David Copperfield, David Blaine. What is that feeling?
Well, it's really nice. People like yourself, they like to think big, and they like to think in terms of what would be impossible, what would be amazing.
What the difference between them and what the common?
Well, they don't start with methods.
Okay.
They don't say, here's a method, what can we do with this method? They start with, what would be amazing? Then we'll figure out a method. They don't start with methods. They start, what would be amazing? And now let's figure out a way to do that.
I think that is the right way to go, but difficult way.
Harder way. It's difficult, but it's interesting to know that there's a method for everything. Somehow there's a method for everything. No matter what you can think of, no matter how impossible it seems, like your show with the bottle.
You like that?
It's impossible. It's impossible. It's impossible, but there has to be something,
Nice.
So this channel is for the public and for the people who love magic. So every week.我自己有点不好意思。
We're going to teach them again?
Yeah, we will teach you some magic.
Yes?
So
What would you
yes, what kind of magic?
I think somebody just brought something.
Yeah,
what have we
some
here?
hardware.
Look, you know what? This is something. This is good for something if I'm in a restaurant, to take It's something that's simple, you know. But then, oh no, it's just an illusion. You know, just an optical illusion. But it's easy if they have something at home. You give this, you know, so it looks like.
Oh no! You just teach like this?
Yeah.
No, we need
should
to
we
keep.
teach?
No, we keep some mystery.
Oh yeah.
See you next week. Okay, that's.
But should we teach?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, this, and then you do this. But what's happening is this. You know, they're just watching your hand.
So.
So they're looking at this part of your hand.
So you keep the fork in the position with
Yeah, and your
The-
thumb goes here.
the forefinger and the
Yeah.
fifth finger
Like this,
like this.
and then this. And then,
Oh, details.
and then if they come to your show, they learn to do this. But they have to come to your show to learn this.
No problem. You can teach this.
The teacher?
Yeah. I think that this is a very good concept
So,
about the
timing is
timing.
everything. So when you relax, you just
Just drop on
let's go.
your leg.
Just drop it in your leg.
But I think the important thing, the timing,
Yeah,
the
so-
offbeat.
Yeah, so they get used to this, and then
I think the detail people need to understand. 非常重要的一个重点 This before the offbeat, you do this first.
yeah, exactly. Your body energy.
Go up and down.
Yeah.
You cannot just down. Just
And your body
up
energy is
and
this.
down. Up and down.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
it's like
Yeah.
it's a
that's the Tony
upbeat,
Slidini.
offbeat,
You
yeah.
know, watch it close.
Yeah.
And then relax.
You always.
And that's when he does the magic.
Yeah.
I was born at the right time, you know, to be able to meet Tony Slidini, Di Vernon, Larry Jennings, all these greats of magic, you know. It was, these were the greats of the last century. And to be able to share time with them and share secrets with them was, you know, was a blessing.
I think that gold time of magic. People go from different cities, places, go to Magic Castle and listen to what Vernon said and show him something and get advised. Wow.
Yeah.
I
Well,
born too late. Thank you very much.
you're my,
Michael.
oh, I love you. You're
Thank
my
you.
hero.
Thank you. Thank you. 谢谢。还有一件非常重要的事，方宇，那个刚才那个魔术你可以变一次。Always, someone teach magic.
Oh, I think she's got it. The thumb is here,
Okay.
3 minutes practice.
and then
But
that falls behind the
应
hand.
该是这样
yeah?
比着，对。
Oh, yeah.
你这边不能松开来，对，你这还是要维持这个样子，对。好，回来，
That's it. That's the illusion.
回来，下去之后，你总要
And
回
then
来，
maybe,
不是夹着的吗？就，
哦耶，
对，把它这样，回来。
那我
好，你如果真的不行的话，你就这样，压着，好不好？
yeah, start here. Yeah.
这会不会漏太多？
And
不会。
对，
there you go.
然后你们把它 ，Yeah.
You've got the illusion.
How to go back? How to go back?
So from here, so you do this, but then you kind of. Yeah.
我又醒了。
But you've got this part. Yeah, the thumbs, yeah.
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 哦，
Well done.
大师教学果然不
Well
一样。
done. Well done.
这个，但是我还是喜欢 Die Runner 的出品。Oh, thank you very much,
Thank you,
Michael.
my friend.
Thank you. Hope you had a
Always a
good time.
pleasure.
Hope you had a good time here in China. Thank you.